There are three titles. This lecture could be called All Academics Are Snitches, or All Artists Snitches, or Who Are We All Snitches, or Who Didn't Snitch. I think I like the last one, Who Didn't Snitch. So it starts actually already with me snitching. I've told that story a few times, but somehow I'm losing track. So I want to maybe just go through. So there is Dave. Dave couldn't eat a whole muffin. So what he did, he cut it in 4 pieces and then he gave it away to his colleagues at an university or some kind of educational institution. So, the campus bakery made them really good. So that's what the problem starts with. So people of a few of his kind of like accusers that got it offended by being embarrassed with a quarter of the muffins he couldn't eat by himself, read into his kind of like gift inappropriate, sexually suggestive. A couple of his professors, accusers now claim that offering muffin to the female staff constitutes a form of inappropriate sexual suggestive behavior. So all that stuff is published in a magazine, a US magazine of higher education. I will post later the kind of reference so you can read up. So what it actually led to, the highlight is additionally one accuser, a feminist theorist, insisted that he'd offered the stuffed pieces of muffin with his salvia on them, looming over them as they sat at their desks. They'd forced them to eat the muffin pieces in front of him, and that the entire process had been a form of sadistic bullying intended to assert his position as powerful male. When presented, this accuser admitted that she'd never herself personally seen Dave offer muffins to any members of the staff, and no seen any salvia, but no, what is it called? Salvia? Saliva on them. Okay, so that's the whole thing. Dave gets removed from the faculty. He has to sit by himself in a room, never sees a colleague or students. Gets involved in some kind of like prosecution. There is no kind of like background, but anyways, getting punishment by the institution. 4 years later, he's dead. He got sick from a terminal sickness. So that's a very, very sad chapter. But so then the article is called Why Are All Academic Snitches? That made me respond to, I think all artists are snitches. And then I ask you, who didn't snitch? So snitching, when you look it up, the example that comes up first is when you tell your parents that your brother ate a chocolate he shouldn't eat. So first of all, that says something about your brother doing something he shouldn't do. But I think what we should kind of like consider in all these cases of snitching is actually the relationship then the brother with your parents has or doesn't have, but then also your relationship to your parents and the parents' view on you, but also kind of like the perspective on your brother you don't seem to be solidaric with. So that's the whole complication, that snitching is not just kind of spying on other people. That seems kind of more a MI5, MI6 scenario where you have a kind of a clear target you report on. So our social snitching is much more complicated and also involves telling rumor, gossips, asking funny questions, this kind of whole social game on feeding information out but also getting information back to actually have a control on our community. So that is actually something that goes back into biological social behavior, where we would live in communities or communities that would kind of like consist out of up to 150 individuals. And that's funnily, that number reappears then when you look at people and their social media behavior. You can have 500 friends, some have 2,000 or 1 million, but the kind of like the people you have personally can have personally control and are engaged with, that's the 150 that comes back from our kind of biological evolutionary history. So I think that's it for today. From me, we are all snitches, and who didn't snitch? Thank you.